Republican leader Kevin McCarthy doing an about-face. He full about-face, now defending President Trump's response to the insurrection at the Capitol on January 6th.
When I talked to President Trump about, I was the first person to contact him when the riots was going on. He didn't see it. What he ended the call was telling me he'll put something out to make sure to stop this. And that's what he did. He put a video out later.
Quite a lot later. And it was a pretty weak video. But I'm asking you specifically, did he say to you, I guess some people are more concerned about the election than you are?
No, listen, my conversations with the president are my conversations with the president. I engaged in the idea of making sure we could stop what was going on inside the Capitol at that moment in time, and the president said he would help.
That is McCarthy trying to rewrite history, even contradicting himself. Here's what he said 1 week after the Capitol attack.
The president bears responsibility for Wednesday's attack on Congress by mob rioters. He should have immediately denounced the mob when he saw what was unfolding. These facts require immediate action by President Trump.
And then that'll change a week later, saying this.
I don't believe he provoked if you listen to what he said at the rally.
Okay, CNN political director David Chalian is joining us now. I hear these remarks, David, and I just think, does McCarthy really think we are that dumb, that we didn't see what we all saw with our own eyes or didn't hear what we all heard with our own ears previously?
Yeah, I don't think it's about whether he thinks the public at large isn't paying attention. I think what you saw when you played that clip, and I'm so glad you played it on a week after the insurrection where he said Donald Trump bears responsibility for the attack on the Capitol, he thought that his party was perhaps going to be in a different place than it ended up being, which is somehow separating from Trump. And he realized very quickly that that was not the case. And he has set his sights on winning back the House majority for Republicans so that he can then attempt to be Speaker of the House. And he sees the only way to do that is to actually embrace the support of the former president for the Republican Party, because that's where the energy inside the Republican Party is. And so that's why when you played the Chris Wallace interview from the weekend, this is where Kevin McCarthy is now, because you just have to follow him to see where he has his sort of finger in the wind, to see where the party base is. That's not necessarily the definition of a party leader who's trying to lead their party to a place. That's somebody just sort of following where the base is.
He did confess, I guess, to the New York Times that he is walking, quote, the tightest tightrope anyone has to walk. So he's trying to have it both ways, I guess?
Yeah, I don't even know that he's trying to have it both ways anymore. I mean, I think that the Kevin McCarthy that said President Trump bears responsibility, which I think it's pretty clear he bears some responsibility for that insurrection at the Capitol, I don't think we're going to see that person come again. So I don't think he's necessarily trying to have it both ways. I think that was a moment where he thought maybe the party was going to move in a different direction. It didn't. And now I just think you see the Kevin McCarthy that is trying to do what he can to keep that Trump base enthused, because that's where he sees the power inside his party.
One person who has been very consistent and has stuck to her guns, so to speak, is Congresswoman Liz Cheney. She was asked who the leaders of the Republican Party are, and she answered Mitch McConnell and Kevin McCarthy, adding she thinks our elected leaders are the ones in charge of the party. Wishful thinking?
Yes. I mean, I think that is Liz Cheney taking a very literal interpretation of the question about leaders of the party and using it. Oh, yes, Mitch McConnell, the leader of Republicans in the Senate. Kevin McCarthy, the leader of Republicans in the House. Donald Trump is the leader of this Republican Party. Liz Cheney doesn't want it that way. She's made that really clear. She doesn't think he should have a role in leading the party, but she understands she is in the much smaller slice of the Republican Party right now in thinking that way.
John, is Kevin McCarthy whitewashing the insurrection here?
That's too kind. That is a cowardly and sniveling performance from someone who desperately needs the spine to be able to say what the President of the United States said when the Capitol was attacked. We know from Jamie Herrera Butler what Kevin McCarthy allegedly told his conference. The idea that the President didn't know and was responding heroically to McCarthy's call to release a statement, flies in the face of everything we know. This cleanup on aisle insurrection by McCarthy out of desire for political expediency rather than telling the truth and standing up for his institution is pathetic.
Margaret, what do you think? I mean, it just sounds like McCarthy is caving on this.
You know what? He's made a strategic calculation that the best way to handle the insurrection moving forward, to bring his conference together, is to pretend it didn't happen. And he, give him credit for not throwing Jamie Herrera Butler under the bus. I mean, remember, her statement was entered into the record for the impeachment of the President of the United States. I take Jamie Herrera Butler's word any day of the week and twice on Sunday. He didn't refute it, but the truth is he knows that he can't undermine, he can't tell the truth and keep his conference together, and that's the problem with the Republican Party right now.